Hello, welcome back to the ministry, and let's begin by saying this word is not for everybody. I've said this in the previous part, and I'm going to say it in the beginning of every part in relation to this movie because I have to say it because this is not for everybody. Not everybody's situation is in the same format, but those of you that know that you know. And if it isn't, I'm going to say this. Pray to the Lord first before you listen to this word. What are you supposed to pray? Lord, if this is my word and I'm supposed to receive this, then I receive all parts of this word fully and completely, that if it is for me. But if it is not for me, I renounce, denounce, come out of alignment, come out of agreement, and repent for coming into alignment with this word, because some of this stuff is not for you. This is not for everybody. But for you that know it's for you, you know it's for you. Okay? All right. Now that that's been prefaced, let's get back to the word. So, I was talking about the Shunammite woman who, her son survived. They went out into the wilderness, so on and so forth. She comes back. The king is literally sitting there, 8:18. I lied to you not. When I was out of this video, going to move the video that I just did to make more space, when I highlighted it, the gigs that were taken up was exactly 8:18. When I tell you, y'all need to get ready. Let me repeat that. Y'all need to get ready. Go back and look at my video called The Invitation, because some of y'all about to get invited somewhere. Don't know where, but there's an invitation that is coming. An invitation to what it was that you are seeking. It's going to happen suddenly. It's going to happen quickly. Be prepared. So with this invitation, this man gets invited to this concert. Okay? Now, before I go away from that scripture, I want to say this. She was in the right place at the right time. This man is about to be in the right place at the right time. When God opens the door for your invitation, you better take it. You better take the invitation. It may be a very subtle invitation. It may be what have you, but it's an invite. When the invite comes, you take it, because you don't know what God is setting you up for. Recently, there was a woman who went to a conference. I don't know whose conference and which person it was. It's somebody I follow. They had gone to a conference. Oh, I know who it was. It was Shantia. Shantia went to the conference, but the woman testified at the conference. She stood up and said that she ain't had no money and only had the amount of money to get to that conference. Didn't even have enough room to stay there for the 3 nights of the conference. Woman gets to the conference. One woman stands up and said, I'll pay for you to stay for the next 2 nights for the rest of the conference. Another person stands up and said, as she was telling her story, she said, I don't have no job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm at the risk of losing my house, my this, that, and the other. She says, you know what? If you work, another woman stands up and says, I'll give you a job and we will work out how you can. I think she was supposed to move because she was literally losing her home. So she actually was going to have the freedom to move whenever and wherever she was supposed to be. God positions you. God gives you favor in certain situations. 8:18, seeing it all over the place. Somebody about to get an invitation to go somewhere. If you listening to this and you know it's you, if you've been seeing 8:18, you've been hearing that scripture, you've been hearing about the invitation, and the Lord has been pressing it on your heart to get ready and prepare for some type of invitation to go somewhere. You better heed the warning. It's about to happen. Okay? All right? Know it, understand it, it's about to go down. So, he gets the ticket And he was like, I don't want to go. I can't. She's like, I have to watch my daughter. And she said, I got 2 tickets. You can come. Don't sit up there and try to make excuses when the opportunity comes. Go. Don't make excuses. Make your way. Figure it out later. The show that night, she's performing. There's a countdown to the I do's. Everybody's hyped. The performance is going well. Everybody's on a live stream. It's a major event. Everybody got their cell phones and it's on Instagram, live streaming it, and they tagging people and all this kind of stuff. I mean, this is a interactive experience completely. Okay? Her team gets the scoop from Page 6 News that Bastian was caught on videotape cheating with her assistant. Yeah, and it's literal video footage of them making out and him taking her clothes off. So it's undeniable. It's not like, oh, it was a photograph. Oh, they were just passing it. Oh, yeah. You saw her removing her blouse and kissing all over him. So, yeah. There was no covering that up. Your God-ordained spouse has people around him, because him or her, that surround them, that protect them. Close assistants, managerial people, some people that he or she has that they trust, no matter what their position is. Meaning, like I said, PR agent, all of this. We went through Perfect Match. The guy was a PR agent. Remember that. But, and who did he have surrounding him? He had his assistant. He had the cocky guy. But remember, they got the people that adjust for their scenario, whoever they are and where they're at. They got, notice this, and I've always noticed this. Notice in every TV show, and some of y'all probably have noticed it about your personal friend group, you always got that one, if you're the female, you either got one female friend and one male friend. Or if you're the male, you've got one female friend and one male friend. However, that edges out. And some of y'all the man and you got 2 female friends. And vice versa. Some of y'all are the female and you got 2 male friends. But each one of them balance you out in some way, shape, or form. But they're protective of you. She had the male manager and the other assistant. That these were her 2 closest confidants, her left and her right hand people. So when she sees them 2, she knows it can be trusted. So what happens is she's preparing for the performance and Bastian's being like, oh, I can't wait to get out there. And the manager grabs her real quick because she already dressed in her wedding dress. And he's like, no, you can't even say nothing to her. No. And she gets ready to get on the stage. She's taking, you know how they have the dolly that goes from underneath the stage to bring her up? She's on the dolly. They put her on the dolly and she knows because she senses off of the guy. What's something up? What's going on? And he said, I can't. And she's like, stop it. I need you to tell me what's going on. And he had the phone in his hand and he said, and she just snatched it from him. She's like, we don't know if it's true. It could be forged. And she's looking at the video and she's like, oh. Okay. So she goes up there and everybody's hyped up there. And she's standing there. She's looking at the lights and she steps down on the steps and trips on her shoe and manages to get herself together. But she starts to do a melancholy speech. Some of your God-ordained spouses have either come out of were just in or were recently embarrassed. It may have been behind the scenes, the embarrassment, because they have a good team of people that can cover this stuff up. But publicly, they still had to come out and they had to be who they are. PR agent, real estate agent, musician, whatever influencer that they are. They've been dealing with some stuff transpiring in the background. But they still got to come out on that stage and act like everything's chill and we good. But if you look at her, she is not good, and she is having her own female demonstrative moment. And she's trying to express her feelings publicly without expressing her feelings, because she understands her position as she's walking down the steps. Some of y'all goddamn spouses have been just trying to keep it together in the public eye. That's all they've been doing, is trying to keep it together. Some of you that know what the Lord has been saying to you, that your goddamn spouse is in the midst of what have you, you can't tell because you've seen them on the social media, because you know that they're that real estate agent, because you know that they are that PR representative, because you know that they are XYZ, because you know, you're looking and you're like, but if they were going through that, they wouldn't be on social media. They doing that because that's their job. They know how to turn on when they need to turn on. A lot of the people that are ministers and doing their ministries publicly, like this, on YouTube, if you listen to half of them, they will tell you, yeah, I go through stuff. Just because hey, hi, Dolly did it. I tell y'all, because I'm willing to be honest with you. This ain't no walk in the park. Honey, child, please. So they gotta stay keep a calm composure. They've been going through some stuff. Some stuff had to break down, and some of it was happening right in the middle of some of the major things that they were going on. Thank God that the Lord has set us as kingdom wives, and some of y'all husbands that have been assigned and aligned to pray for our spouses. Because I've been seeing for the past year and a half words saying, pray for your husband, pray for your husband, pray for your husband, pray for your husband. If it's the other way around and it's your wife, pray for them. Because some of them have been going through it behind closed doors. But to everyone else, just like in this very moment, to everybody else, she looks good. Oh my God, she looks so gorgeous in her wedding dress. Oh my God. And she's standing there having a whole internal breakdown. Internally. But she knows that because she's on in front of these cameras, I got to keep myself together and composed until I get by myself. They have taught themselves how to do that. They learned it very quick and very early. We cannot we can't be falling apart in front of these people. Some of y'all are guilty of this too. Y'all didn't have a platform, but guess what? Some of y'all have gone through embarrassment behind closed doors with family members, friends, associates, embarrassment in the church, all kinds of stuff. And guess what? You had to keep your composure in front of everybody. But when you got behind closed doors, you were sitting there crying. You've been doing it too. You just haven't been doing it on a public spectrum yet. Why you think the Lord allowed you to go through that like that? Because he needed you to be prepared for when you're going to have to do the same thing in front of people on a large spectrum. That's why he had you get accused in front of everybody at the family reunion or in front of wherever it was. The church, the group of people out in public, whatever it was, you got accused and you had to keep your composure the whole time. when everything in you wanted to cuss that person that's accusing you out. Tell the truth and shame the devil. You know you did in that one moment, but the Lord was saying, keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. Don't. That's how God was teaching you. Why? Because you may end up in some situations that'll leave you in front of everybody publicly on a public platform, and you can't say a darn thing. Because your mood at that moment is like, I could tear that person up, but you got to come out in front of this camera and smile in front of everybody while you are internally boiling. God's preparing you. Moving forward. So she is talking, and Bastion comes up saying something about her on the side of the stage, and her manager is like, you should just get out of here. It's like, he's sitting up there trying to say, oh, she's embarrassing herself, and the manager says, no, you the one that embarrassing her. And he realized as soon as he said that, oh, y'all know, yeah. So she looks at the audience, and Charlie's standing there. Meanwhile, Charlie had been out there with the friend, Carmen, and his daughter, Louie, and they were standing there, but Carmen was using her phone to do Instagram pictures and all this kind of stuff. She said, here, hold my sign, because she's the one that had the sign that said, marry me. She was the one that made it. She handed it to him while she was doing her selfies and all this kind of stuff, so he ended up holding the sign. God will orchestrate a series of events. You may not know why, but you may be holding the bag for a good reason this time. So he had the sign in his hand. She looks out in the audience and sees, and in the midst of her melancholy speech, she says, yeah, sometimes you have to do something different to get a different result. So you know what? Yeah, I choose you. And she points directly to Charlie and says, yeah, I'll marry you. And he's like, what? What? And then his friends are standing there like, she chose you. Oh my God. And they're trying to start pushing, and instantaneously he's thrust forward up to the stage to go up there to marry her. Some of y'all, I'm telling you this with all understanding in my spirit. Hear me and hear me well. Some of you, God's been letting you know, y'all ain't gonna be sitting there going, oh, we're gonna get to know each other for 3 and 5 months, and then we're gonna get married, and it's gonna be like that. No, God already done said something to you. You know, God's been giving you signs. God's been showing you, and maybe he's even been bringing back to you Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac and Rebecca. He's been showing you, some of y'all, he's been showing you Vegas. Raise your hand. Has he been showing you Vegas? And for those of you that he been showing Vegas, y'all probably been sitting up there, oh, I'm going on vacation to Vegas. I'm going to this place. I've been going to this place. No, honey, that's probably why he's been showing you Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Some of y'all about to get married like that. When I was doing research for this word, I saw a video pop up on my feed, and the woman was talking about Vegas is the only place that the wedding chapels literally you at 24 hours a day, 365, 7 days a week. Any hour of the day, you can get your marriage license done and then get married within an hour. Some of y'all think it's a game. Some of y'all's about to get married like that. Today you are single, don't know your God ordained spouse. Tomorrow you are married. The morning you get the invitation to get the tickets to go, y'all gonna be flying out that night, and by the next morning you are gonna be Mrs. and Mr. Hear me when I tell you, hear me when I said. He was thrust forward into that group. You are going to be thrust forward. Y'all ain't been able to get the thing that God done gave you to move to save your daggone life. When I tell you, you gonna get thrust forward. He was thrust forward into the spotlight, got up on that stage, turned around and was looking and was like, oh my God. He couldn't even see half the audience, but he was now on the stage. God's been telling you. God's been telling you. God's been telling you. If God's been telling you. God's been telling you. You're about to have public recognition, public recognition, public recognition. You're about to get known for the thing that you've been doing diligently in private, public recognition. It's going to happen suddenly, quickly. And some of y'all sitting there thinking this. I'm going to tell you this. This is what you're thinking. And some of y'all that know, thinking it's going to be like this. Y'all thinking, oh, I'm just going to be that kept husband or wife. They're the famous person. I'm not famous. They don't need me like that. I'm here. I'm just to be their wife. I mean, I know I got this thing that God has given me to do, and I'll be over in my corner doing that, and they're going to go and be famous, and I'm just going to be over here. And God's like, use a lie. Use a whole lie. You're all the way a lie. You're a whole lie, and there ain't no truth in you, because I am not sitting you next to this person to leave you in the background. I was listening to something, and this just happened to come up like a month or so ago. We're talking about LeBron James, and LeBron James does not travel without his wife. If he has an event, she right there. If he's doing something, she right there. Because it does not, some of y'all are meant to marry NBA players, football players, what have you. Any level. Influence. Some of y'all are meant to marry, and he didn't travel without his wife. His wife was right there. Some of y'all, that's how you're ushered in. That's how it's going to get crazy for you. Because some of y'all just been sitting around. Because God's had you in this waiting season that y'all just been sitting around. And you thinking, oh, I'm good. We good. God gonna send me over there, but I'm gonna be sitting in the house. I'm gonna keep the house for him. And God's like, use a lie. Use a lie. Because you're gonna be flying around with them. Because they like, oh, you thought I was coming to get you to sit you in the house? They're like, I need you next to me. It's going to be like, wait, what? Yeah, whirlwind. Thrust forward. But I need you next to me. I didn't wait all this time to then just grab you and then put you in my house just to know that you're there. No. You're not going to be the trophy wife. I'm going to actually pull you into what I'm doing. I'm pulling you in. I'm pulling you in. And it's not even the fact that he or the she is going to pull you into the level of like you going to be working like that. Some of you is simply going to be they need you next to them, because your spiritual awareness is going to deter people from coming at them wrong. I've started playing chess on my phone and tablet recently, and I've come to the understanding, what does the queen's position? The queen's position, all of us like, I'm a queen, queen's this, queen's that. I was born in Jamaica, Queens. Moving on. Some of y'all sitting up there, queen. The queen on the chessboard protects the king. She moves around the king to keep any objecting force from getting to the king. So some of y'all gonna have to be standing right next to your spouse. Oop, I'm so sorry if you thought you was gonna go sit in the house. Darn. And I learned very quickly from Tiffany Montgomery. She said that when she first learned that she had to start traveling, she didn't understand the amount of energy that was necessary in order to just travel. Running from gate A to gate F. You got a flight that you need to catch. Make sure that you're yeah. Some of y'all exertion is going to come from that type of stuff. Some of y'all going to have, your garments are about to change. Everything's about to be changed because you're about to be thrust into this traveling lifestyle that is associated with your spouse, because your spouse got deals here, there, and the other. This, that, and the other. You're going to be thrust in. And yes, some of y'all are the Ruth type character. Whatever it is that you're doing, it comes into alignment, whether it's what they're publicly doing or privately putting their hands to. Meaning they've got philanthropy, that the skills that you have are probably going to touch the philanthropy areas that they've been working on. And because of that, you still going to be sitting next to them. Still. Because they want you close. Because they realize what you have and what you are. So they're going to want you right there. Back to the movie. So, he's pulled on stage. After he's pulled on stage, they pull him. He's directly put in front of her. And it happens so fast. When I say it happens so fast, do you take Kat Valdez to be your wife? I actually asked Kat first. It's like, Kat, do you take him to be your lawfully wedded husband? She said, yes, I do. Some guy. That's what they called him. They called him some guy. Some guy. Do you take Kat to be your wife? Think about that. Critically. Do you take her to be your wife? He looks around. He looks at her face and says, okay. And the guy that's doing the ministry says, okay, we'll take okay. Some of you may not be known when you're first pulled up there. People gonna wonder, where the heck did you come from? And some are like, are you sure you want to be here? Just like that minister. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to be here? Are you sure? Are you sure? Remember when we did Lady and the Tramp and the friends got to Lady and they were like, are you sure you know Tramp like that? Because, I mean, we've been knowing him for years. And, I mean, this is the type of stuff he do. You sure you want to get caught up in this mess? Some of his people, some of her people are going to be like, are you sure you want to get caught up in their drama? Are you sure? And because this is so sudden, you have to be clear-headed and clear-minded, because these things are going to come up. But you also got to be aware of, what did God say that you were supposed to do? Yes, you're supposed to be there. Yes, you're supposed to travel with them. Yes, you're supposed to be. Know your position. Cover them. Because there's going to be distractions and things coming in order to distract you from your main assignment. Because if your goddamn spouse pulls you in, guess what? You are supposed to cover them. Period. When it gets crazy, cover them. If you forget anything else, cover them. Anything happens, cover them. Just cover them. Cover them. That's your sole purpose. Pay close attention. Every time you hear a siren, that means pay close attention. Cover them. Cover them. Keep them covered. Things get hectic, cover them in prayer. Things get confusing, cover them in prayer. Whatever you do, Cover them in prayer. Cover them in prayer. Cover them in prayer. Did I make that clear? I thought I made that clear. We are coming up on the end of this video. So they have gotten married. They're rushed off the stage. You're seeing a bunch of stuff happen simultaneously all at once. There are cameras in their faces. Bastion shows up, tries to say something. The assistant shows up. She says, girl, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. You are fired, blah, blah, blah. The other assistant shows up and they trying to usher her out the door. Then Bastion is standing there and he's trying to say, it happened in Miami. And then he knew Charlie comes up talking new in this situation. He's like, I don't think you need to talk to her like that right now. And he's like, who you? Some of y'all, the people gonna be coming and bombarding these people, trying to get to them, trying to put their thought processes and ideals and what have you in the moment in which all this transpires. They gonna be trying to put their ideals in the situation. Like, and you're gonna be kind of like, hey, wait, doesn't he have his own? Or doesn't she have their own opinion? Hey, here. And you're just observing. It's like, okay. And they like, who you to say anything to us? Because they've been there. You have not. So you're going to have to ease your authority in there as the Lord leads you as to how you're supposed to speak. But let him lead you when to speak and how to speak. And in what way to speak when that time comes. But with that being said, they rushed them out to the car. They get in the car and he's trying to lighten the mood by making a joke. It's like, yeah. Well, the one thing I can say is he's going to age badly. She's like, no, he's not. You're right. He's probably going to look gorgeous even when he's 85. And she starts to laugh. And they finally reach the destination of her apartment. And she's getting out the car. And he said, are you going to be okay? And she said, yeah, I'll be okay. And they drive him home while he calls, Carmen calls him and is like, I dropped your daughter off and everything's good, but are you okay? What's going on? So we're going to end it right here because this is the beginning of the next phase. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings.